Okay, cool. So the reason why I asked you to be a part of my podcast is my research question and my podcast is basically looking at urban music, in the sense where I'm investigating how music culture influences urban design, looking at Braam.
Yeah.
And I know you live in Braam. Your brain, because you would, in my eyes, you would be deemed as a local because you live there, you go through Braam every single day. That's your every single day environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like you. So I just wanted to get a sense from you because I mean you literally live, work, play in the area. So
Yeah.
you would understand Braam to its core and its finest.
I started living in Brum in first year, so this was 2019. So I've been living in Brum since
Okay.
2019. So I think this year is my fifth year. So you're correct in saying I'm possibly a local because I've been here for quite some time.
Mm.
And the space has kind of changed, and you see it with the type of land uses that are in certain areas, and just the general urban fabric of Brum. It's very vibrant because there's a lot of young people here. It's very vibrant. For me personally, it is very safe as well. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the general view I have about Brum.
Okay.
Over these 5 years, I definitely think I am a local because I don't just stay in Brum. Like I interact with people in the urban
Mm-hmm.
environments. I interact with the urban environments in itself. So I'd like to think I'm a local because I don't just stay in my room. Like I'm a very active and like vibrant person as well. I like exploring things and having different experiences and so forth. So that's what I think I am a local because I really interact with the people, I interact with the space as well.
When you think of Brahm, what are like keywords or things that pop into your head that would embody Brahm?
I think the youth definitely. I think music. I think art. I think creative. I think very vibrant. Like it's super vibrant. I love Brum so much because there's a lot of young people here, and young people show and express themselves in so many different ways, and it's really beautiful to watch and just take in. As opposed
Mm.
to when I'm at home, when I'm in Soweto. Soweto is also quite a vibrant place, but I think the distinction between Soweto and Braamfontein is the fact that they're young people. So young people exhibit and express themselves within the urban environment, literally outside, and especially in Brown, because you don't have grown-ups here. I think they are more free and they get
Mm-hmm.
to express themselves in various and different ways, which is really beautiful to watch.
So you would really say that Brahm is just an expressive environment.
Yeah, it is very expressive, but also very stressful because there's a lot of like high institutions of learning here. So people are always like on edge. And I think that's why then they always feel the need to express because it's a form of different experiences. There's art galleries, there's clubs, there's places of music where you just get to chill. There's restaurants. It's really beautiful. There's like even daytime farmers market. So the playground, it's not necessarily a farmers market, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a place, it's a daytime spot where there's live music, there's food and stuff like that.
It's very inviting and just a place where a lot of is happening, but a point of like expression and voice is very evident, especially in the different things and the activities and the diversity, not necessarily of the people, but the diversity of the things you can do. As much as Brahm is in one in the inner city, it's in a very institutional place where Wits is like right on his doorstep. But it's just,
Mhm.
I don't know, it's a very balanced
I
place.
think also there's just a lot of also like national significant places within Braamfontein, and that's
Mm.
why like such it attracts different people from different walks of life. So there's even Concord by Braamfontein Center. So that's where like political discussions normally take place and stuff like that. And that's like another form of expression.
Is music to you?
Well, music is everything to me. I'm obsessed. I love music so much. I can't, it's literally everything. I wake up, I play music. Before I sleep, I play music. When I'm walking to campus, I play music. When I'm chilling alone, I play music. So every part of my life has music in it. So music is everything to me.
Think the world would be without music? Like if it
Universal language, and you get to it's very, how can I say, relatable. I think it exhibits the human experience, and when you listen to it, it doesn't matter like who you're listening to, you are going to get some form of you're going to relate to what you're listening to, even if it's like someone who doesn't even come from this country. It's very relatable. So I think it just brings out the humanness in you, and that's why I love it. But
mm,
if we didn't have music, I don't think I'd survive. Honestly, like I wouldn't, like I really wouldn't survive. It would limit a lot of expression because I mean, like art really, I mean, life really mimics art, and if you don't have
mm,
a form of expression and you don't have, I don't know how it would work. I don't know, because music inspires so many things. It inspires our way of life. It inspires what we think. It inspires other forms of art. It inspires how we interact with each other as well. So I don't know. I don't know. It would be a very weird place.
think that Brahm being the creative space it definitely does embody what a creative city is.
You see it through just walking the streets of Braam. I mean, I think we could be doing more in terms of creativity and also like incorporating the informal sector. Creativity is formalized. So if you want to see art, right, you'd have to go to an art gallery. There is graffiti and stuff like that, but it's not all over Braam. It's only like with like certain pockets and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with the fact that I think Brahm is very constructed for students, and there's no like we don't necessarily have like purchasing power, or like Braamfontein's music culture has a specific type, or it's just varying on the kinds of places you're in.
I think it's both now, because when I got here in 2019, the piano scene wasn't that um how can I say, like it wasn't that loud. Like it wasn't a lot of not a lot of people were playing piano in 2019. Yes, it was still starting out. So when you went to places like Great Dane, for instance, it'd be like a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. But I think the space has changed a lot, with the exception of drama, because drama does play sometimes R&B and hip hop, but majority of the places in that block play piano, and that's the type of music that they have. But if, for instance, there's little pockets where they play different types of music and stuff, but generally, like, yeah, it's just piano.
That I honestly thought it would be a array of different music cultures and different genres, because in my eyes, different music would portray different activities or different atmospheres and moods. So
Yeah.
if the general thing is the same thing, wouldn't that mean that the whole of Rum has the same atmosphere and the same behaviors and moods?
I think piano in itself, right, is a very diverse genre of music. So you have soul piano, you have the normal piano, like the groove piano. But I think it also, you'd have those different vibes at different times of the day. So for instance, if you go to the playground, for instance, and it's during the day, chances are you're not just going to hear the normal club piano. You're going to hear soul piano. You're going to hear like a bit of house music there and there, a bit of R&B as well sometimes. Like that's really rare. But it's also, it speaks to the diversity of the different genres that exist in like South African music genres. So yeah, I think of course the spaces aren't going to be the same, and the activities that are done in those spaces are also going to be different, because the mood of the music is also different. It's like what you're saying right
Mm.
now. Of course, it's just going to be different, but I think it speaks to the diversity of this genre, and that people can relate to it, and it can be adaptable to different times of the day, and it's not necessarily only for the night.
Because Brum is somewhat mostly a residential in a city, would you think that the residents are invasive, or they're very welcoming to outsiders coming through, or like visitors? Like they're locals in the sense of like, come into our area, we'll teach you our ways, we'll let you understand our culture. Or they're like, oh no, there's more people, more noise, more congestion, more chances of like conflict between establishments and like conflict as in more like crime and more danger?
I think we locals in the space really embrace like diversity and embrace other people that come from other areas, because I think that's just how creativity works. You can't have creativity without diversity, because it's all going to be bland and it's all going to look the same. So in a creative space like Braam, it's only natural to expect that even the people that live here embrace people from the outside, and we interact with the fact that it is a creative space. It requires a lot of diversity, and that's the type of environment you walk into when you do come to Brom. It's just really diverse, and I think that's what makes it beautiful, that there's different people from different walks of life that come here and try to express themselves and stuff like that. A lot of crime occurs in areas that um are have a lot of people. So, but with
Mm.
areas there's not a lot of people, and there's also not a lot of good lighting, and just the urban environment in itself doesn't facilitate a safe environment. That's where you'll see that, okay.
Say that the music related businesses and establishments have contributed to the local economy and employment opportunities in Bram, or do you not think that there hasn't really been a change in that?
Um, I think definitely. I think definitely. Um, but the problem I kind of have, but it's not necessarily a problem, because also students are really unreliable. Majority of the establishments in Braamfontein don't necessarily employ students, so they'll employ other people that are not necessarily students in the area. It's mostly the restaurants, the clubs, the bars and stuff like that that contribute to the economic um output of the area. So yeah, definitely.
Think makes Braamfontein's music culture so unique and sets it aside from anywhere else?
I think it's the unrestrictiveness of the music culture, and also just like the creative culture in Brum. Like it's really not restrictive, and I think this is because young people are amongst other young people. With even subgroups within the Braamfontein community, you have a large queer community within Braamfontein, and that's also like an influence when you look at the music culture. Thousand people can um give to the arts in a way that they haven't before, and that's why it's so beautiful, and that's what makes the Braam artistic space or creative space so different, and that it's young people that have fresh thoughts, that have fresh ideas, that um want to express themselves. Diversity, it's the form of self-expression and the intensity of self-expression as well, that makes a difference than any other place I'd like to think in South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that does make it very diverse because you catering to a whole different group or subgroup as you're called, and that has its own social dynamics and
Yeah.
spatial like conditions that you would want to be in, which is cool because it's this big area that's catering to so many people, but from so many backgrounds and from so many income groups and so
Yeah.
many sexual orientations and gender. It's just so exciting to figure out and break this down and how it all works and how it doesn't work and how you can improve it,
Mm.
especially because music is so ingrained into the area. It's just it's just like creatively beautiful.